You know, if you're playing soccer, you have a full team.
What's that?
If we were playing soccer, you'd be happy. You had a full team. Plus a reserve.
I know, right? Well, it depends on
I
what
don't know if you
division.
know anything about soccer, but you know,
No, yeah, this is a good team for a U10
yes.
division. Good size.
Yeah.
Okay, so the recording started.
Mhm.
It is now, what time is it now?
7:03.
7:03, so this meeting is now in order. Let's go to the first item, public comment on non-agenda items. We have someone on the attendee, that's either Mr. or Mrs. Hales. Welcome.
We have an attendee.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I don't see any hands raised. So let's move on to item 3. Discussion and motion to review video from August 4, 2022 GHNNC board meeting and consider removal of Thomas Hartfield as plum chair due to non-compliance with GHNNC Code of Civility, Code of Conduct, and the Ralph M. Brown Act.
Oscar, did you
Yes.
take roll? I mean, did Alfredo take the roll?
You know what? No, thank you, Karen.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just very out of it right
Straight
now.
to the, he's
So,
going straight for
Alfredo,
the
take roll.
jugular today.
What's that?
You're going straight for the jugular today. You're not messing around. You're like, let's go.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm exhausted, as I'm sure everyone others are too. But Alfredo, can you
Yes, sir.
take roll, please?
I sure can, sir. I
Thank
will do that right now, as a matter of fact. All right. Alvin Waters.
Here.
All right. Brian Allen.
Here.
Chris Coyle.
No longer on the board.
NLA. No, okay, NLB. All right, Danita.
Present. Present.
All right, Graham Zach.
Here.
Jason Lester.
Here.
Karen Waters.
Present.
All right, Nathan Lee. Nathan is, I see him here. He's not present. I see his name on there. All right, we'll come back to the Oscar Jimenez.
Here,
Raheem Kazi. He's absent. Okay. Ralph Croy. Absent. Robert Moore.
Present.
Thank you, sir. Sydney Gold.
Here.
All right. Thomas Hartfield. Not here. Okay, and one stakeholder, yes?
yes.
Okay, good. Okay, let's play ball.
Excellent. Thank you, Karen, for that. All right.
Hey,
So,
Alfredo, could you
Anytime.
hear me? It's Nathan Lee.
Okay, thank you, man. All right. we
Sorry
got
about
you.
that. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank
sorry
you.
about that.
all right, so we do have quorum. Thank you. Okay, so let's move on into item 3. Discussion and motion to review video from August 4, 2022 GHNC board meeting and consider removal of Thomas Hartfield as plum chair due to non-compliance with GHNC Code of Civility, Code of Conduct, and the Ralph M. Brown Act. So I'm going to, with this one, this came before the executive committee and it moved forward to the board for discussion and see what direction, we want to take. So with that, I'm going to let Karen kind of drive at this moment because she is going to control the Zoom recording.
Okay. So we have two clips. One was at the beginning of the meeting and was a reply to Mirka Martinez from Council District 12. So I'm going to try to, I didn't know I was going to be presenting or I would have had the exact time down, but we will get there. So here we go. Let's see.
Thank you, Karen. I know I kind of asked you last minute.
Are you sharing now? Because we don't have sound.
Because she's looking for the spot.
Let me do that. Let me just cut the sound until I find the clip. Um,
I believe it was around the 11th, 12th.
Right, I think so.
Let's see.
Because there's windows. That's what I'm looking for, the windows.
Look how colorful Karen looks.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so we're getting ready for clip number 1. Okay, here we go.
There's still no sound.
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Can everyone hear that?
No.
Oh,
Oh, you
No,
can't?
no, there
Oh,
was
there we
sound
go.
before.
So you need to go to your audio settings,
Oh,
then you have to go to share sound.
Okay,
But it's not under here. I mean under the
Right.
Zoom.
okay, all right. Bear with me just a second. How do I do this?
I'm sorry, Karen, I asked you to do it because it worked last time.
Yeah, it did. Because I'm sharing, my screen is set up differently. I think, wait, maybe it's over here. Audio settings, got it. And share
I'm gonna go ahead and take roll.
screen.
No, you have
Okay.
to share the audio.
Audio,
You want to go to where the mic is.
yes.
Is
And
it
then,
working for you, Karen? Because I don't hear anything.
okay, and then microphone. Ray,
Question for you guys. Can you guys hear this guy? Should probably comment on non-agenda items. You guys hear that?
Smart
I
Alex.
did.
Okay. Okay, you smiled. I'm assuming that.
That-
it
okay.
works. Okay.
Let's try it. Let's see if it
You're
works
gonna have to
now.
increase the volume louder, Karen, on yours, so that way they could be probably heard. Maybe if you have loudspeakers on your,
Okay,
that's how I was able to do it right now. That's how you can hear this guy talking. No.
No, Gibson actually answered me today because I needed to, today I got an answer on that.
okay, it's loud. Can you hear it?
No.
Oh,
No,
wait.
anything.
Wait, sorry. Okay,
I was playing another meeting from YouTube over here, so. You guys know you guys are on YouTube, right? We have a YouTube channel.
did you hear that?
No.
Nothing.
So I don't know if we need to have somebody else take control, like
Microphone,
Let me see here. I know normally Mr. Oscar Jimenez sends it to me. Let me see if I can. If I can go ahead with cloud recordings at 2013. Cloud
Oh.
recording.
Yeah, there's a little arrow next to the microphone.
yeah, I got it.
Okay.
So it's got select a speaker, headphone system, switch to phone audio, leave computer audio. Those are the options.
A little different.
oh, so it's the same as mine. I think Oscar, I think you're the only one that could do it.
Well, I'll try, but I know Karen did it last time because I couldn't.
How
get
did
it
you
done.
enable me to do it last time, Oscar?
Co-host. Well, let me try host. Let's make you host and see what.
Yeah, man, don't disable her, man. Come on.
Right. Okay, now you're host. Let's try that.
Okay, all right, let's try this. Okay, let's see if we can hear anything.
No.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, let me try stopping the share.
It's very faint. I think I heard something there, but
Okay, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I did it fine the last time.
Alright.
Sorry, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, I would have tested it earlier, but that's okay. We'll get there. Let's see if we can,
Um,
let's try it again. Maybe, let's give it another try. Let's see.
No,
Yeah,
still
'cause
not
what I have is-
working.
Because what I have is a complete meeting minutes. I don't have the, like, broken down like the way you have it.
Let me try this. Wait, let's see. Oh. Let me take it out here. Okay, it's not, you know what? That's odd. Okay, let me try it this way. Brian. Can you hear that?
No,
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know what to say. It's not working.
well,
Oscar, can I give it a try?
audio
Oh,
test.
wait, hold on a second.
Yeah, let me,
Oh, I disagree. Okay, let's try it again.
Community will be very
Can you hear
upset
that?
if
There you
that
go.
Yes.
shelter
Yep.
remains
you
Okay.
did it.
a
Woohoo!
private.
can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so let's
I
go
tried
back.
doing something. It's a 13.14 on the
Oh, thank
first
you.
one.
Thank you.
Huh?
Okay, we got there. See, teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right. But you're doing it all by yourself, Karen.
So 13 point, what did you say, Oscar?
13.14.
Oh, 13.1.
So that's good right there. If you start.
Okay, all right. Okay, here we go.
6 to 7:30 on the
Why is it still-
15th. It's going
still
to
at
be
17?
at New Horizon.
Karen, I think it was on
Your
17.
second question was on the northeast.
Oh,
Wasn't
okay.
this
And
the-
Animal
for some
shelter.
reason, it didn't
Yes,
go back to.
Sharon Bronson from our office
Wasn't
provided
this-
a statement.
You have to
but,
click on the bar,
Should he,
not just hover.
essentially, it was something
What was
that
that?
There you go.
You need to click on the bar at 13.14, not just hover over it.
Oh.
Drag it
Okay.
over.
I don't think it's, is this is not the complete meeting, right, Karen?
No, this is the whole meeting.
Yes, it is. This
It was
is
only 1
Okay,
hour?
so you said 13.4?
13.14.
That,
So it's
click
click
right there.
there. That's good right there. Click.
Here?
Yeah.
yep,
There you go.
Okay, oops.
Play now.
In that email or
Okay.
that letter. So I can't really say if that is true or not, but I'm happy to definitely connect with my boss. And if someone here knows
I-
who received a declination, I'm happy to further elaborate on it.
Wait,
Can't
let's
there.
see, wait just a second. Where are the windows? I was looking for the windows. There we go.
Oh,
Okay,
there
here's the
we go.
windows. All right, let's back it just a bit. Okay, clip number 1. I think we're,
Same.
and questions from America, starting with Thomas Hartfield.
Yeah, hi, Mira. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here tonight. Really appreciate that. Definitely looking forward to you and Councilmember Lee. As I take my board member hat off and put my kind of personal resident hat on. Thank you for willing to join our this Saturday our Knollwood Property Association. Knollwood Property Association meeting together. Looking forward to meeting you and a council member. Thank you so much. It's unfortunately, the Granite Hills, Northridge neighborhood council, could not participate, but nonetheless, thank you so much, you and Councilmember Lee. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to having you guys attend, meeting all the constituents. Really looking forward to that. So thank you so much. Looking forward to that this Saturday. Really looking forward to that. But nonetheless, thanks for taking the time out to attend tonight's meeting. And again, I hope to meet you this Saturday. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, the
thank
council
you.
member is very excited for that.
Yeah, we are as well. Thank you so much. Really looking forward. We're gonna have a great turnout. In and out's gonna be there. We are so excited. So thank you so much.
Wonderful. I'm glad that worked out for you, Thomas. That's great. Okay, Sid Gold. Okay, that's the end of the first clip.
So can we analyze that clip first, or can we gather up?
Yeah, no,
anything in
yeah.
it?
Go ahead. Oscar, take over.
So go ahead and what are your thoughts on what just transpired there?
Well, I kind of, now that I'm listening to it for the third time, or I think fifth time, because I did the minutes and then we reviewed it. I did notice that he says, let me take off my board member hat off and speak to you as a regular person. I kind of like that, and that is, I mean, just stating an opinion, being helpful, and I really didn't see much in there that it's an issue as far as what he says. I don't see anything wrong there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Alfredo. Brian?
I have to say, the incoherence of, thank you so much for that being said so many times is disturbing to me from a personal level. However, excitement can do that to somebody. If they're excited about something, they can rattle on, and I consider that rattling on. What is not appropriate is all of us who are members of the board in a board meeting may not and cannot take off the hat of a board member and speak as a stakeholder. We are board members. We are in that meeting. We are not considered stakeholders at that time, and it is inappropriate to make that statement. However, he didn't do anything that I can see that was that in any way, shape, or form represented a stakeholder independently with an independent view or opinion or position. So that comment, as uncomfortable as it was for me, was not something that I could criticize him in total for. All right, so that's just my opinion.
Got it.
Thank you, Brian. Alvin?
Yeah, so my point simply just like I said at the last meeting, just kind of zooming out the lens is number one, we can say that we're gonna take our board member hat off all we want, but at the end of the day, if we're participating on quorum as a board member, it doesn't matter. You're still representing as a board member. There's no other way to put it. The second thing is that the second thing that we have to understand is that, anytime that we conduct ourselves, like, even though, I know that some of us may agree or disagree, but I mean, the bottom line is that we can't allow something like this to transpire again on another meeting because it's not going to make us look good. And that's just kind of the standpoint that I'm looking at. Whatever grievance that the board member has that we didn't do, that's something that's something that could either be discussed at committee or offline one-on-one. But all I'm just simply saying is, even though, yes, maybe it wasn't drastic, I'm just saying that if we allow this to continue, it's going to get to the point where I personally see it as a little bit of a risk to allow this to continue. And it's, from my standpoint, it's not a good look on our board.
Thank you, Alvin. Sid?
Thank you. Even though I'm trying to figure out what the Brown Act violation is here, okay, that he may make a statement, or Tom may make a statement that he's taking off his board hat. Whether he says it or not, he's like, he can't do it. It's not a possibility to do in the middle of a board meeting where you're a quorum. So I don't know where I think the effusive praise and whatever was maybe a little over the top, but I'm trying to figure, was there any monetary issue here that coming to the Knollwood meeting or something like that, that he was involved in? That to me, those are the Brown, I just try to see where the Brown Act is involved here. Thank you.
And that's a good, thank you for that input, Sid. And I don't see anything in this particular clip that is of concern. The only thing here was, again, if you have some point or contact, personal feeling about, in this situation, his event, and making mention that, certain people were not attending. I mean, again, to Alvin's point, that's something, what could have been left out, and we could have discussed that later. But as far as a Brown Act, I don't see anything here. But so, Karen?
Correct. There is not a Brown Act violation on this video clip. The specific content or subject matter of the statement was pertaining to, I believe all board members know, the Outreach and Publicity Committee has to vet events, and Thomas's wife is the president of that association. And I requested for the entertainment committee of that association to arrange to meet with our Outreach and Publicity Committee to review the subject matter, because we have possible conflicts of interest, and their request of Granada North Neighborhood Council was to attend this event to give away free items. And at that time, as we all are aware, we've had serious problems with the city clerk, so we know it would have to be vetted, because unlike the common events we are accustomed to, we didn't know anything about this event other than they wished for our board to volunteer our time on one of the hottest Saturdays of the year, I believe, in August, to attend this event. But it needed to be vetted first, and it could not be vetted because the entertainment committee would not meet with us. So that's the reason why we couldn't take it forward, because they never met with the Outreach and Publicity Committee. So that's really the extent of it. And so the rambling there, but there is definitely not a Brown Act violation on this portion of the clip. Oscar and I also did discuss it as well, because there could be possible Brown Act issues with members of the board present. There was just a variety of issues that would have had to be vetted, and the city clerk and attorney review in order for something like that to have been considered. And we never got there.
Okay, Alfredo, you have your hand up. You're next.
Yes, sir. I hear a couple of things here, and I want to make sure that when we're discussing a matter similar to this, it should be discussed in a public setting and not necessarily in a private setting between two panelists. I do think that our board is being a little sensitive in this critique of a board member. And I think maybe we ought to consider that, because if we're going to be overly sensitive on certain things, we're going to somewhat provide censorship on someone having an opinion on a public setting. They're letting us know in a public setting. I appreciate that. I don't appreciate that. Does it make us look good? You're absolutely right. It does not. However, having that opinion as far as us not showing up or us not participating, are we thinking that he did that in retaliation of us not participating in his wife's event? Is that what the thought process is?
Can't say. Don't know what he was thinking, but that's we simply stated we just could not attend, and there isn't a Brown Act violation here. So I mean, if it's okay with everyone at this point, the main clip is ahead for us to review.
Let's go ahead.
Oh, Brian, did you have something to add to that before we move on?
Just a little bit. The fact is that what I heard was that he made it clear that we did not attend this event. That's okay. It's a fact. We did not attend the event. He did not criticize us for not attending it. He did not make any allegations about us. He just simply made the statement, and the majority of his communication in that clip was to simply thank CD12 for being there. And while he was very aggressive on that,
Yeah.
that was understandable, uncomfortable, but understandable in the way he did it. So I don't see any reason to consider this clip anymore, but I will say Alvin is correct. It does make us look a little poor when a member does that, but that's a matter of just making the comment to the member at some point to let him know that, you know, we didn't appreciate the position that we're in when he conducts himself in that manner. That's not a censorship. That's just an honest statement of how we feel. But at this point, I would drop the whole thing because I don't think this rises to a level of criticism.
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
So
Okay,
let's-
all right.
Let's move on to the next.
Okay, all right. Did we have a time on that, Oscar?
That one I don't know, Karen.
Okay, all right, let's,
Trial and error, like we.
It's not too far down though.
no, it's not. Let's see.
Go for it, DJ. GHNNC.
Did you say DJ? Okay,
Well, yeah, that's what's happening, right?
yeah.
Well, handsome guy there. I was talking about Brian. I was talking about
agree.
Brian. I was talking about Brian.
Oh, here we go. Okay, we're just, I think we might have to back up a little bit, but,
You're almost there.
okay.
Who's that ugly guy?
Stop, Brian. Oh my. Okay, I think we are in the right place.
We
Here
can
we.
still criticize ourselves. It's
Yeah, of
still a
course.
Zoom meeting, yes.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Brian. Planning and land use management, Thomas Hartfield.
Thank you, Karen. Yeah, we've got a couple things going on. Obviously, I think the first and foremost is I think we've all have witnessed that there's been a number of just local vendors taking advantage of local streets and taking advantage of those thoroughfares to sell their wares, whether it's tacos, tamales, or whatever it may be that they're looking to kind of make monies from. I think that is one thing that's going to be in the planning and land use to kind of kind of bring that back in to say, well, is it fair to the existing businesses who have applied for a permit, who have a proper restroom and things of that nature? So we're kind of looking at that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we're looking at the current planning and land use proposed development of Rinaldi and Shoshone, which is the proposed senior living development. And of course, they've met 3 times already, twice with the planning and land use, once with a full board. And they're going to come back. It's been about 12 months or so. They're going to come back, take our ideas, the constituents, thoughts, processes, their ideas. They're going to represent. They've kind of re-looked at those for a 4th time. So we're going to have that on the, what is it? The it looks like the 18th. So please, everyone, mark your calendar. what is it? August 18th, 6:30 via, of course, Zoom, 6:30 p.m. Please look at that. They're going to represent. They've looked at all of the ideas, concepts, suggestions.
Karen, can you pause?
Things they don't like, to kind of revamp those, represent.
The reason I asked to pause is because up until that point where he says, where he defines that we are going to have another meeting on the 16th or whatever it was, at that point, everything was appropriate. Once we go past that, now there is a effort to voice a position.
Brian, why don't we?
And I'm just saying that, Oscar, because I think we need to hear it in a response to a perspective, and that's all I'm doing. I'm giving another perspective that you can look at the whole thing. That's all.
Understood, but I think we should listen to the whole thing and then let everyone come up with their own.
Okay.
So
should I continue?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Present to the Plum Committee. Again, we're gonna revamp this, redo the flyers to the committee, which they've already seen, but we're gonna do it again, just for argument's sakes, and represent anything new. Just kind of take a real look at it, but and again, that plot will be developed. It's inevitable. It'll be a gas station. It'll be a condo. It'll be something. We don't know what it's going to be, but eventually it will be developed to something. But we just need to take a fresh look at it and say, have they look at egress, and is this the right development for our community? We're a bedroom community, resident community. What do we want? Another Target? Do we want a gas station, or do we want a senior living? Which obviously there's no debate.
Thomas,
we'll look at that. Yes, Karen, you have comments.
Yeah, a little point of clarification here. I emailed a timeline of events for that particular project because we have to have a motion item which we'll have on the Plum agenda, and then we'll move through the timeline of events. And then also there was the gas company that presented to us, which actually that's a little bit that's going to come in September 12th, is it? Is that what they said?
Yeah, the gas company, I mean, that's going to happen no matter what. No matter even if we say stop, they're going to still proceed forward. It's a necessity. They have to do it. It's a potential gas leak. I mean, they have to move forward. Even if we say no, they're still going to move forward. It has to be done. So the gas leak, it has to be done. It's a precautionary. It's going to be done. I appreciate that, Karen. Thank you so much. But yes, you're right on Rinaldi, and I think it's above Knollwood. What is that? Woodley, I believe. But that's pushed back until the fall of this season, more towards like October, November. So I didn't mention it then, or right now. But you're correct. That eventually be taken care of, but it's a necessity. It has to be taken care of, and it is going to be done. There's nothing we can do about it. But yeah, we can put signs up to alert the public, alert the residents of, how do you kind of avoid that intersection? You're correct. But going back to more pressing issue is this particular development. It's been at least 12 months in the making, a little bit more, to be honest. But that development, eventually, it's going to be developed. It's inevitable.
Okay. Point of
you just need to
Thomas.
kind of, look at those developers. Say, what have you provided to the community,
Thomas,
to the
I have to
developers?
Thomas, I have to call point of order. Because we haven't voted. In order for the board to consider a matter, we can't discuss it now. So we will wait, because the board will take an action at a later date based on what comes from Plum. So so thank you for that. And then on the gas company, going back to that again, everyone, is we did make some suggestions for signage, which was Brian's point and Wade's point about making it clear to those local residents who are going to be compromised for the duration of the project, to have some clear signage of what will happen. We all know everyone doesn't read the mail. So we just want to make sure that there's adequate signage in the neighborhoods to make the stakeholders aware of the alternate routes during that project, and also made a point to let them know, the gas company, to make sure the stakeholders have adequate notice. Many of them have services that come to their homes, so we did want to make sure that they have the appropriate notice. So, I think that is it. Right, Denisa, Thomas, anything else?
Yeah, Karen, I appreciate that. Yeah, it sounds like the gas company is not going to start their project until maybe January, February of next year, 2023. But I
There's two
totally
projects.
believe, proactive is putting the signs up ahead of time, letting people know. Balboa is a thoroughfare, absolutely. But
Right.
the confluent for the senior living on Rinaldi and Shoshone, it's been over 12 months. So yeah, they're looking forward to kind of move forward on this project. I think that's more pressing, because if we look at the gas company, I mean, that's a necessity. That's going to happen no matter what. I mean, no matter what we do.
Okay, so Thomas,
that's
okay, so we're
happen.
gonna, Thomas,
But
we're
the
gonna.
point of
senior
order,
living,
Karen.
Point of
they're
order,
just
Thomas.
trying to look at, do we come back for a fourth or fifth time for the plum and
Karen,
the
you've
board
got
meeting?
to
because
shut it
they're
down.
looking for
I
development
know.
This is
coming.
not agendized and it should not be
Okay,
discussed.
all right, yeah, we're gonna move on. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm just trying.
Just a quick
thank you.
update, Tom. We don't need details because those
If
should be
if you
discussed
guys
when
want to
it's
kind of
agendized.
continue this, not a problem, but it's on the agenda, and I just want to make people aware of that.
Okay, all right, okay. We are gonna move on to Robert
Sounds good.
Moore. Robert?
Okay, so let's pause, or this is it. I mean, I don't know that there's any other clip. So I'm
That's it.
opening this up to everyone. So if you have any comments on this now, we've attempted to kind of keep his presentation short for, just to eliminate the risk of things being said that should not have been said. So, and still somehow he just wanted to continue. But I'm going to open the floor. Denise, you've got the floor.
So yeah, when he initially was presented, I was really worried because that wasn't on our agenda. Like, we did not talk about the senior living facility at the Plum meeting that he was supposed to be, obviously when he's presenting, he's supposed to be discussing what was discussed at our meeting. And the senior living facility was not agendized. We did not even discuss it. When Karen cut him off, that was appropriate, because what we did discuss at our meeting was the gas company, and the gas company had actually come and presented. So I was kind of like, why is he even talking about the senior living facility when we didn't even discuss it at our meeting, which was so inappropriate. And then to just dismiss the whole gas company thing when that's what we actually talked about and the gas company presented to the Plum meeting at that time. Like, that should have been his focus during our meeting. And then he could have said, we're going to schedule a meeting to, discuss the senior living facility. So that was a little concerning for me when I was hearing him just go on. And why did he even start off with that to begin with? I don't know.
Thank you, Denisa. Brian, you've got the floor.
Yeah, I will just try to make it short here. The fact is that the purpose of the agenda item that he was responding to was an update. That's all it is. There's no campaigning. There's no explaining what should be done, what could be done, what may be done, etc. That is inappropriate to discuss at that time, because there is no agenda item to discuss any particulars with regards to that property. The information that was presented was inaccurate with regards to the gas company. There was already a notice of September 12th, and that notice did go out. Do not know to how many houses it went out to, but I have it. I have a copy of it here. And I can tell you that they have dug up the center of Woodley and Balboa. And the project is ongoing as we speak right now. And, you know, it's, if we're going to, as a board member, any of us, if we're going to talk about something, we need to be as accurate as we can. And if we don't know for sure or have evidence of a fact, we should not present it, because our fiduciary responsibility is to present information. And in this situation, the information that was presented was false. Now, luckily, we didn't have 500 people at the meeting, but the fact is, it could happen, and we should not allow those kind of things to go on.
Thank you, Brian. But regardless, and before I move on to Sid, I know you'll get the floor next. Regardless of what the subject matter is, on an update is just strictly that, an update. It's not about, you know, presenting details. So regardless of what the subject matter is, one thing that's very key and important is that nothing is to be discussed if it's not on the agenda, period, the end. And as we know, if something is on the agenda, it is not to be discussed before the meeting. So there's finite rules that we need to adhere to and we need to follow to avoid violating any of these Brown Acts. So with that said, Sid, you've got the floor.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to make a comment. To me, the issue again is how a meeting is run. Several times point of orders were raised and he continued to speak over the point of order, which to me is totally unacceptable behavior of a board member. What he presented is also was try to be pointed out to him was out of order, that was not appropriate. And nonetheless, he kept on, some overruled Karen and you and kept on speaking. And so to me, the conduct was inappropriate, totally. And what the board should do about that's something else. I think Thomas puts in a lot of work on the committee, does a lot of work, but the behavior at the meeting has to have some decorum. And Karen pointed out to him, and you pointed at him, that he should stop talking, and he would not do that. And he didn't raise an objection why he should continue talking. He just kept on talking on his point. So I think it's something that I don't know what we have in our bylaws about what people do or do not comport at a meeting, but he did not comport himself well, even though I'm sure his intentions were there, but how he comported himself and following the rules of the order of business was not witnessed. And so I think that has to be looked at as a board. How do we deal with members who don't pay attention to the rules? Thank you.
Thank you, Sid. Karen, you have the floor.
Thank you. Well, I echo what has been said so far from everyone, from Denitza, Sid, Brian, and Oscar. And I will add to that simply expanding on what Sid said a little bit. We have a breach of the Code of Civility and Code of Conduct where it was unprofessional and it was disruptive to the board meeting. The other item, which we all obviously didn't know at the time, whatever conversations, there seemed to be some advocacy for the project. We have a plum best practices, which Denitza had made the point earlier in the year. You know, I made a lot of effort to put that together and have it approved by the public information officer. I'm done. And that's completely been ignored. And there were some conversations, there could have been, we don't know for sure, but based on some emails that came through, that he had conversations with the applicant representative, who we have recently learned is a paid lobbyist with the city of Los Angeles. So with that being said, you know, we all know that sort of that dark cloud that's over the city of Los Angeles pertaining to planning and land use management. And we have to be very, very careful, because it can look bad on us that we're favoring a project, and we have to let it run its course. It doesn't matter whether it was I took notes on this, you know, how many years it has been, whether it's been a year and a half, 2 years, however long it takes for our plum committee and our board to review and determine, whether a project moves forth it's up to the board. And so that's it. Everyone else has said what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Karen. Before, again, I hand over the floor or give the floor to someone else, next person. Another thing I want to clarify, and Sid, you made a good point, and that is, he does do quite a bit for this board, for that committee. And we don't want to overlook that. But just to add more to this, like Karen said, he may have reached out or communicated with this developer, or in this case, perhaps a lobbyist. We don't know what was said. But after the last meeting, I made various attempts to reach out to Thomas, be it phone, be it email. In some of my emails, I was very specific about holding off on certain things, not moving forward with certain agendas. That was ignored. So we've tried to work with him, to give him some guidance. I've had to intervene in the last month with some of the communications with the developer. So I just wanted to throw that out there, just, so that you guys can take that into consideration. And with that, Elvin, I will give you the floor.
Thanks, Oscar. I think I'll try to make mine quick, but I just think overall, whatever position we take, it's simply that just kind of looking at the scenario that if we simply just turn a blind eye, forget about it, pretend that nothing happened, I mean, just kind of understand that this is something that could resurface, repeat again. And I guess my point of view was that I was seeing it as more of a liability on our board if we just simply turn a blind eye and just say nothing about it. So I'm just honestly advising this board that whatever position we take, it's a position to mitigate it from repeating again, because because at least the first video was, it was debatable, but the second one, I mean, it was inappropriate and it was unprofessional. And it's just my position is if we just simply turn a blind eye, it's gonna happen. It's not a matter of if it will happen. From my point of view, it's a matter of when. I mean, we're all adults here. I don't think, this warrants any training. It's, if anything, if we don't take the position we propose, it's at least it has to be communicated to him that it wasn't appropriate and it can't happen again.
Thank you, Elvin. And to that point, that was what my hope was in terms of trying to reach out to him via phone and email. But again, like I said, I or I did not receive a response to either, or to various emails that I did send him. Graham?
Yeah, I agree with everyone's sentiments on this and comments. I also found it kind of disturbing, just the repetitiveness of what he was saying. And I think, there's something, maybe uncomfortable to bring up, but if he's not responding and he didn't attend last month's board meeting as well, and just by the behavior that seemed out of character to me from what I've heard of him in the past, that mental health is an issue. And I think that, someone should reach out to him and see if he's okay or what's going on, if he wants to be on the board, or, what his positions are on what's going on, because I just, that could be an issue. That's something that I wanted to raise, because that's like a deeper issue, I guess, than just agendas and things that we discuss on the board. But I just wanted to raise that point.
Thank you, Graham. Sid?
Thank you for the opportunity to speak again. I was thinking the same thing that Graham just said, being somewhat in the mental health field and listening to his speech. And that's something we could consider. But I think as a board member, that's that I think the action I'm looking at, I'm glad you brought up the information that you've tried to communicate to him and that there's been some issues of maybe inappropriate. And I would like to make a couple of recommendations on whether what we should or should not. The first is that you have the power to remove him as the chairman of the Plum Committee. And the second, I would make a recommendation, but we could pile whatever evidence it is and ask the city attorney to give an opinion, whether it's meets to the Brown Act or other acts of inappropriateness. That would be my recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Sid. And Karen, if you could, we actually, in advance of taking these steps, putting these meetings together, believe me, I don't take this task easy. Having to do this one, having to set up a special meeting. I know we all have a lot going on already, but we did reach out to the city and they did give us some guidance. And this is what they've instructed us to do is one, to bring it before the executive committee, which we did. And then from there, take it before the board.
Yes.
Karen, do you have something? Did I miss something?
I do. Yeah, let me just, because Jason needs a turn to speak.
Sure.
Elise Rudin is no longer our city attorney, for those who may not be aware of that. It's now Eilert Feynman. So she and Thomas Song referred back to me, to our board, to handle it from the executive committee level, just address the matter with him directly, which Oscar has tried, for an entire month to reach out to him personally to discuss. Oscar also forwarded the video to him and asked for Thomas to review the video and contact him. And that also, there was no contact as well. And so Thomas Soong, who is one of the directors of Outreach for Dunn, and as well as I, who is the new city attorney for us, they were approved of those specific actions to address this matter. And because it's a chair position of a committee, we as a board have the right to remove that person if they are not fulfilling the duties of that role. And it's a very important segment of neighborhood councils as well. So, it's up to us to take the action we deem necessary with service to our community, our board, and any applicant that comes before us. And also that I'm going to add one quick thing, Jason. Training. I have offered training to everybody who needs it on this board, whether it's a person I refer you to, or I try to help, or email. We have some of the best resources in our district, all who have been provided to him to reach out for growth and development, all which have been rejected. So a great deal, the majority of that research and development has been Denitza and myself. I mean, Thomas does a good job of just a regular chairing of like starting it and stopping the meeting. But that research and development really is, got to give credit to Denitza, and I do a little work here too. So, but yes, Oscar did send that video twice actually, and it was never no response. So I think that's the end for me.
Thank you, Karen. Jason, you have the floor.
I just wanted to say, I know we were discussing those clips as two separate issues, but I really have a bigger issue with a third thing here, in that he is deliberately ignoring requests for communication. That to me is a bigger issue than the two audio clips, because to be on this board, and unless something is going on with him medically, he knows that you're reaching out to him and he's deliberately ignoring you. And that is not a team player. And this board can't be slowed down by people deliberately ignoring other members of the board because they don't want to discuss something or talk about something or go over an issue. So that's actually the biggest issue that I have with everything that's happened, is just this lack of communication and sorry to repeat myself so many times, deliberate ignoring of your request to communicate with them. That's all.
Thank you, Jason. Alfredo, you have the floor. Unmute yourself.
I said a joke and it wasn't funny because it was muted. All right. So, the concern that I have, he's been unreachable also. That's a concern of mine. I'm curious, do we have a go-to emergency contact? Because a lot of things could happen. Sid and mentioned something about mental health. That could be the issue. We don't know if he's ignoring us. We don't know if he simply has not been able to see that fact that we're trying to get a hold of him. I am not saying that he is. I'm not saying that he's not. But do we have like an emergency contact? Has anybody else has had any meetings? I know Danita's in the group in his, committee member. I'm wondering if there's more insight. I actually don't know where he lives to actually go to his house and see if he's well, because I'll be honest with you, if he's struggling with something, as a board, maybe we show a little bit more care instead of assuming that he's ignoring us. So I'm just curious as to what else has been said. And I know that Danita is in the group, and I don't know if you're in there too, Karen. So
I am.
I would appreciate, what's been the
Well, I'm ready to answer.
preempt to this what is it, breakdown, if you want to call it.
So Karen, sorry, before you respond to that, Brian, I'll come back to you. Alfredo, the points that are being brought up about possibly something medically related, very good points. Now, but one thing I didn't share is that I did get a hold of him by phone in one instance, and that was past the August meeting when he sent out Plum Committee agenda, okay, for the August meeting. Okay, now
August 15th, right? That would have been August 15th.
I believe that was the date that it would have been scheduled. So prior to that agenda going out, this is where I had emailed him and asked him to contact me prior to putting out that agenda, because there were things that I wanted to discuss with him beforehand. That call was never made. He sent out the agenda. Subsequent to him sending the first agenda, which was sent out on time, meeting the 72-hour Brown Act requirement, the next day I see an email with an updated agenda. That updated agenda included the item for this development because it was overlooked. That's when I was able to get a hold of him and basically made it clear to him that if he's going to move forward with his meeting, the only things that he could discuss at his meeting were those things that were on the first agenda that made it to the posting within the 72 hours. I made it clear to him that any discussion regarding that project could not be done in his meeting because it did not meet the 72-hour requirement. And Karen, if you remember, right, yes. I did clearly mention that to him. And that's when we had to intervene. That created yet a little, not a little, but an embarrassing situation for our board. Well,
yes,
because Karen and I had to intervene and we had to call the developer and say, I'm sorry, but this is where we are. You cannot be present at that meeting. You can be present, but your item will not be discussed. So that's kind of after that is when also for some reason, and on that call, by the way, I also mentioned to him, I said, Tom, I'm going to email you the Zoom meeting so that you can look at it, review it. And once you've had a chance to do so, please give me a call. I never got a phone call after that. So that's another tidbit of information that I forgot to kind of put out there. But I did have a conversation after that August board meeting. And again, to discuss the revised agenda and to make it clear to him that he could not have any conversations regarding that project because it was not timely.
And I
So
will add on
Karen,
to
go-
Oscar. I'm going to add on to Oscar's that, and I read the bylaws, and some of you, I believe, may know that the executive committee has the, per our bylaws, may oversee plum matters. So I mentioned this to executive committee. I also, the day after the board meeting of August 4th, I emailed Thomas that I was suspending my participation in the plum committee because I'm on the executive committee, and Oscar and the executive committee also were advised. I never heard from him. And if you have a committee of 3 people, you have someone, who serves, well, and I never heard from him. Like, you pick up the phone, hey, is something I said? What's wrong? Never heard from him.
Brian, thank you, Karen.
Do we have on this agenda, I'm not looking at it, that's why I'm asking the question, I apologize.
No, it's
Do
fine.
we have a motion on the agenda for this item?
Yes.
Yes, that was, so let me read it. Well,
I'm just asking if there is, and I assume that it's coming from the executive committee.
this came from executive.
Okay, all right, so I want to be careful to recommend that we are careful in what we say in terms of taking any action. And what I mean by that is we have no evidence of any emotional breakdown, any mental issues. We have no evidence of any of that. We just have concerns personally. And so we should not use any of that as criteria for taking any action. But having said that, I would recommend, unless there's anybody that has something really special to say, I would recommend that we take action on this motion.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Can I just, oh,
Denisa has her hand up.
Denise, yeah, let's do 2 more.
All right, yeah, I just want to make it quick because to go back to the point about that August meeting, so then, to Oscar's point, I think it's very embarrassing. I felt bad for the developers because he was communicating, then Karen was sending emails, about our process. He had actually called me because then Oscar said, I think Oscar had told him, make sure that you're going to have quorum for the meeting. I wasn't sure if we were going to have the meeting because the mixed message, because he had sent one agenda out and then tried to send the other one. So he had tried. So then when Oscar, so obviously he understood that because he did call me Wednesday before the meeting was supposed to be held. I didn't take his call for personal reasons. My husband and I were busy because we're under construction and I had to get everything packed up. But I had texted him and I said, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't take your call. My husband, I'm just really confused about what's going on because of all the emails that were going on. And he, like I said, had resent another agenda after the fact. And then Oscar had emailed him and told him, and I was in that email, that he knew Karen wasn't going to be at the meeting. So he knew all that, right? I did text him and I said, hey, I'm so sorry. And he's like, oh no, I was just calling to see if you were going to be able to, if we were going to have quorum. And I was like, you know what, because I was confused if we were going to have a meeting or not, I'm not going to make it to the August meeting. So he was apparently getting messages and he was like, totally, oh, I get it. My wife and I did a whole, our construction project too, whatever. So I don't, so he was obviously, he knew, because people were communicating with him, but it was like he was still just kind of doing his own thing. And I feel that's kind of important to share.
And she muted
Thank you,
herself.
Danisa. I muted myself. Alfredo, you've got the floor. Sorry.
The question that I have, because we do have the power, the executive committee has the power to supervise and supervise the meetings of Plum. I'm curious if this could be a temporary, maybe a signage of that supervision versus removing someone until further notice, or we have a reasonable discussion with him. Because he is a stakeholder in the neighborhood. Yeah, he might have overstepped his duties, or maybe underserved his duties as a committee chair. But I'm just wondering if we could just supervise those meetings until further notice.
Well, executive committee would be overseeing it. There wouldn't be a Plum committee and an executive committee meeting. It's executive committee really designed, I'm sorry, not designed, but to oversee Plum in a matter like this. But it's really supposed to be only a temporary situation, because we definitely don't want to take off. I think, like most of our mothers said, bite off more than we can chew. And I think all our plates are full, so we need Plum to operate and function independently as it always had. So to not belabor the executive committee.
Okay.
But good suggestion, but yeah, it's not necessary.
That's it. That's all I have.
All right, any more, or we can close this now?
We don't need a second on this one because it came from committee.
No, it came from committee.
From the board.
So.
Could you just read the motion? Or?
Yes, I can read the motion. Thank you, Sid. I'll do that. Hold on a moment. Let me actually do this. Can everyone see my screen? Oh gosh, this is the wrong one. God, on it. Go figure. Well, this is the motion number 3, but this is the wrong agenda. There's another item on it, but at least this is the motion that we're discussing. Discussion motion to review video from August 4th, 2022 GHNNC board meeting and consider removal of Thomas Hartfield as Plum chair due to non-compliance with GHNNC Code of Civility, Code of Conduct, and the Ralph M. Brown Act.
Oscar, you're on mute.
You muted yourself, sir.
Yeah, sorry, it's just hold on. Sorry, I have people coming in and out of this office. Can you guys see the motion? Should I?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on then. Yes, Sid.
Yeah, I'd like to amend the motion and just discuss a motion review and basically just remove Thomas Hartfield as Plum chair, and I'd leave out all the reasoning personally. Right, that would go in the whereases, but in the actual action is basically to remove him. I don't think once we put all these reasons out, that's going to open into question. Did he really violate this? Did he really violate that? I think that we've made a considered opinion here at the board that he should be removed, and we've had the discussion why, but I don't think that has to be in the motion. Thank you. So
I second that. My second that. Sid.
Well,
Great suggestion.
can I suggest that we do it for remove him for reasons of no confidence?
I can second
I don't
that.
know why we need that. Okay.
Okay.
You know, Brian has said that let's vote on this. I don't think we need a second, and now we're doing, after he said let's vote on it, we're doing an amendment to all sorts of things. I think we clearly understand what is going on here. For the changing it, for what purposes, I don't know. I'd like to know why we want to put all of those things in there. We discuss it, we say let's vote on it.
Well, there's an amendment motion on the table. It hasn't been seconded yet.
Yes, it was seconded. That was.
Oh, was
seconded
it?
by Karen, yes.
In that
Karen
case, discussion
we-
is in order.
So let's talk about that one, and that's where Alfredo's asking then, as far as that motion.
No, point of order was Brian prior to this suggestion. He has suggested.
No, I made no
Hold on.
point of order. I just simply made a opinion.
Man, I wish I could do-
As far, well, Alfredo, to your point, we were moving forward with a vote, right? But then Sid came back and suggested a revised motion.
But we're moving into a vote. Why are we,
No.
is that allowable? That's what I'm having.
Alfredo,
Yeah.
I did not call the question. I simply said I thought we ought to vote on it. It's not an action. It's just an opinion.
Let's do it then. Let's discuss that.
So anyone have any discussion or points on the revised motion? That motion, the revision is discussion motion to review video. GHNC board meeting and remove Thomas Hartfield as plum chair. Is that correct, Sid?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, anyone have any points or want to discuss this? Okay, I see none.
So we're
Okay.
removing from the word chair all the way through to the end of Brown Act.
So basically, it's going to read discussion and motion to review video from 8/4/2022 GHNNC board meeting and remove Thomas Hartfield as plum chair.
That's it.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
The actual motion, Oscar, would be to remove Thomas Hartfield
To
from
remove- Okay.
as plum chair. That's it.
Okay, discussion motion to review video, board meeting to remove Thomas Hartfield as plum chair.
But you don't need the discussion and motion. You're just making a motion to remove him as plum chair.
Okay,
Yes.
so to be clear,
Karen seconded, right?
so,
Yes.
so just to be clear, Fernando, are you clear on what that motion is?
Who's Fernando?
Or Alfredo?
Sorry.
Calling Fernando, Alfredo. I'm so sorry.
Damn, man. Jeez.
Well, you know what? It's just that Fernando, I keep calling him. I mean, he is just, ooh, I mean, just.
Is that
so
what it is?
That's why, yeah.
I don't know what that means, but okay, I'll let you escape this one.
Okay.
Good looking. How's that? How's that? Okay. So
A little
motion,
levity is good, so.
motion to review video, from 8/4 GHNC board meeting to remove Thomas Hartfield as plum chair. Is that it?
That's it.
Alfredo, do you have that?
My understanding, we're removing the wording from the word after chair, where it says due, and ending and eliminating all the way to act.
Right. That's it.
But there's no discussion and.
It's just motion. So
It's
take
just-
out
it's
discussion
just-
to end.
It's just, let me go through it again. Motion to review video from 8/4/2022 GHNNC board meeting to remove Thomas Hartfield as plum chair. That's the motion.
All right.
Amended motion.
Okay, all right, let me see if I.
So we need
All
to,
right, motion to remove. We're not reviewing anymore, so it's to remove. Dang, okay, Thomas Hartfield, that's very simple. That's plum chair. Wow, okay, all right,
okay, are we good?
I think so.
Okay, I don't see any more hands. All right. Let's take a vote on the amended motion. Any opposed, state your name. I hear none. Any abstentions? State your name. I hear none. That motion passes with 11 votes.
I know it's not a financial thing, but because we're removing somebody, do we need to take roll call on this?
I was just gonna say, I think we should do a roll call.
Okay, so we'll do a roll call then for the vote of the actual motion. So that was a vote on the amendment, right?
Yes, sir.
So now we have to vote on the actual motion. So, Brian, did you want to do a roll call?
I don't think we need a BAC. We just need
No.
to.
Okay,
ask
I
the
will
question.
do a roll call then. Okay. Brian Allen, what's your
Yes.
position? Yes. Alfredo Castillo,
Yes.
Graham Zach,
Yes.
Sid Gold,
Yes,
Tom, excuse me, Raheem's absent, Thomas is absent, Ralph is absent, Nathan Lee,
I abstain.
abstention, Jason Lester,
Yes.
Robert Moore,
Yes.
Danitza Pantoja,
Yes.
Alvin Waters,
Yes.
Karen Waters,
Yes.
and myself, Oscar, that would be a yes. Okay, so we have 10 yeses and 1 abstention. So that motion passed. Okay,
Motion amended.
yes. All right, let's move on to item 4. Karen, you sent out that list, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the item 4 is discussion and motion to approve itemized list of GHNNC giveaways. GHNNC board voted at the 9/6/2022 board meeting to approve up to 5,000 on the condition of the amended motion to review the itemized list with costs. Karen, thank you so much. You did send that out earlier.
Point of order.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm getting used to that sentence. This was, I don't have that agenda where there's an extra item. And
Did I send you the wrong one?
well, here's the thing. I also didn't see it on the website where we're supposed to have a posting.
Then are you talking about the GHNNC website?
Yes, sir.
Then
If we're talking about points of order.
No,
it sounds like this is not a public, we didn't publicize this meeting.
Well, the revised agenda was sent to NC support
was sent to NC support, and let me see.
and Aaron.
Well, check the website for yourselves. I mean, I can just share the screen and show you guys that it's not in our website.
I did receive the updated agenda from Ensler.
When did you get that? Because what I received was and it's fine. I mean, if it was posted.
Alfredo, hold
if I
on,
have
hold
the
on,
wrong
hold
one,
on.
I'm good.
I'm gonna send it to you right now, and it's gonna come from NC support with.
Yeah, but that's not what he's saying, Oscar. He's saying that one of our requirements is that everything be posted at various sites. One of them is our website. And if we did not post it on our website, then he's saying we did not meet the requirements. So.
That's what I'm talking about.
Am I right, Alfredo?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, okay, first of all, we know that NC's, that they, if they're behind, that doesn't mean it wasn't posted. If
No,
NC
but Karen.
He's referring to our website, the GHNNC website.
Yeah.
Our own website should have it before.
It should.
You know, it should be in there, but it's not in there. And that's the concern that I have because of the fact the last thing on here is September 6th. And how do we publicize it? How do we know our public are?
Well, let me ask the question, like, what's the, with NC support being behind, like, what's the lead time of them posting the agenda?
Well, the things that go in here are supposed to be going publicly, but not by NC support, I believe on our website, it's posted by Aaron, right?
Correct. Aaron posts on our website.
Which we guide our people to go to our website and we promote our website and we don't have it on our website. I think we can't have this meeting.
Is there a link on our website where they can go to the city website where in the neighborhood or Dunn posts it?
You know, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we can have a meeting and we can go look for it and maybe
Yes.
find it. Well, what I'm saying is we're not making it clearly transparent to our people in our neighborhood.
Yeah, and I did not get the updated agenda until yesterday.
So
Well,
Yeah, so
special
that-
meeting, special meeting
would be
agenda posting is
appropriate.
24 hours.
And you did, that's correct. So
Okay.
special meetings are only 24 hours in advance. The general meetings that you have, standing meetings, those need to be posted within 72 hours.
I'm curious as to how John, the Hales and Ms. Brewer found out about this meeting if we really haven't posted on our website. I'm curious.
Well, we have they're on a mailing list. I'm on several neighborhood council mailing lists, so it comes from the NC support people, because I get Mission Hills, Granada South, and a couple others.
I mean, I have a concern about that, and I think I mean, I think we should consider if we just wasted our time.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question here. There seems to be a lot of scrutiny with this. You know, this is almost my 5th year chairing the outreach committee. And, you know, we worked, the board voted to move these items, you know, forward. We, to review them. We now have a timeline of issue. Our next board meeting is October 4th, is it? Is October the 4th. We have a pending public event for and a low inventory. So I'm concerned about the intense level of scrutiny for something that took a diligent effort to make sure that all of these items were appropriately labeled based on what the inventory that Brian and I have reviewed in the past of what we had, and provided those items, actually some pictures. I mean, they're in black and white, but still pictures. And the scrutiny is concerning to me.
Not to mention, this was mentioned at our board meeting before the public.
So, I mean, there's very good points here. Alfredo, you bring up a good point. Why is it not on our website? So that's a discussion to be had with Aaron. It was posted on the city website because I did get confirmation from Dunn. They're very good about sending that out. As far as other public postings, that agenda is posted at the park at B Canyon, as we should always post, right? So can someone come back and say that we didn't do our due diligence to communicate to the public? I'm not sure. I don't know that they can. I mean, again, to Karen's point, these do get emailed to those who are on our email list, right? So let me ask you a question, Alfredo. The first one that was sent out on Monday, I believe, or Tuesday. Did you find that on our website?
No, it has not been removed. I found it because you gave it to me. That's really the only reason why. I think what we're saying is we're missing a lot of constituents by actually not having it on here. And here's the thing, I'm not saying that it's not right. I'm not saying we didn't follow through. If added scrutiny is being involved here, it's not necessarily to scrutinize what the process that we're doing, but to scrutinize the process of letting the public know. I'm not seeing that on the fact that we're having our website and we pay for our website and we do a lot of announcements on our website and a lot of links from our website. For it not to be on there, honestly, I know it wasn't done on purpose, right? But I'm just questioning it because we are not necessarily selling tomatoes here or selling something very small. I think we're doing something very big and we need to do it. I just don't, I'm asking that question for those reasons, that's all.
Oscar?
Yes, sir, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm looking online.
Yeah, I just reviewed our bylaws. So our bylaws in Article 8, Section 3 states that we will post to our website. All right, now that's a bylaw. That's not a Brown Act. Bylaws can only be adjudicated on two issues. One is a grievance placed by anyone, and two, by the board itself addressing actions, okay, that we take. There isn't any, I don't know where it is. If it is in the Brown Act, I'd have to review it again. I don't remember everything in the Brown Act, but I don't think the Brown Act requires a website posting, but it does, in my recollection, it does suggest that it be posted on a website if you have one. So in this situation, this is not a motion to spend money. This is a motion to review and approve the expenditures already approved. That's all it is, because that's the way the original motion was written, that we would spend up to $5,000 based on reviewing the details. And that's what Karen has presented, is the details to justify that expenditure. So in my opinion, the only thing that can happen here if we go forward is we could be slapped on the wrist and say, you didn't follow your own bylaws. But that is the extent of it. They would not be able to say, oh, you can't spend that money because it was previously approved. And I think this is one of those cases where it's our bylaws. We choose to enforce them or choose not to enforce them, and it is our right to do so. So that's my opinion.
Okay, so the question is, and here's what I'm, one concern here is, it says that there's criminal penalties for this, disclosure of closed session discussion. If we have not announced this to our people, are we having a closed discussion yet?
Absolutely not, because we have a attendee, which, by the way, they have their hand up.
They have their hand up, yep.
And we've had no closed section. Anybody that finds this meeting is available to them can still log in anytime they want.
It's the point of order.
Not
I
a
have my
closed
hand up.
session.
Sorry. Okay, Sid, go ahead. Yes, thank you.
I'd like to propose an amendment to the motion pending approval, pending agreement by Dunn that it's appropriate.
I wouldn't open that door.
Oh, no.
You don't want it? Okay. No, you don't have to second.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I'm not seconding it.
Okay.
No, I said, I would say, given the hour, I think we should hear from the applicant. I'm sorry.
Let me give the floor to, is it Mr. or Mrs. Hale? Oh, please unmute yourself.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. We're sitting here in awe of the responsibility that you're taking upon yourselves. But one thing that we've learned over the 363 Zoom meetings that we've been to over the past 2.5 years is that there's no single source for getting the agenda. There is one, as you've mentioned, you get an email. There's one, we go to your website. There's one, we go downtown. Another is we reach out to people that are on the board that may have it. So it's not really a single thing. What you're referring to is that the normal, average, everyday person who does his work and is curious about how the government works hasn't got a clue that there's something coming that's on the email and the website, etc. So this goes to your outreach, continue the outreach and telling people, hey, go to our website, sign up here, etc. But there's no one way. Michelle has a little bit.
Okay, and I just wanted to say, this is Michelle Hales. We did know about this, there, this meeting was coming up, because we did attend your recent meeting. But I did, the agenda was received technically last night at 8:33 PM. And I looked at it today. I said, I knew we were gonna have a meeting, but I looked at it, but it was 8:33 PM. I'm looking at my email now, but we did know this meeting was coming up, but then I looked to check to confirm that we were having, and it was received last night from ENSLA, I guess ENSLA, ITA ENSLA at 8:33 PM. That's all I want to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Oscar, the issue that we're addressing here, and John is right when he mentioned we're taking the responsibility seriously, and I appreciate Alfredo's comments personally. I'm glad that we are considering, are we doing the right thing? But once you identify that you have a question of doubt as to whether we've done the right thing or whether we've succeeded or not, then you look to the materiality of it and say, is this material or isn't? Did people have other ways of seeing it? Did anybody attend? Are there people that could have attended if they knew about it because it was on our website? We'll never know. But the point is, we're concerned, we understand, we've gone to the level of checking the bylaws, and the bylaws do say that. And then we've looked at it and asked the question, how important is this? Was it available through other means? And it was. All right. So in my opinion, I would recommend that we go forward. We take the slap on the wrist if it comes, and recognize that we are doing the best we can for the community in an environment where we are unpaid elected officials. And I think we have to put it all into context and understand the importance of this.
Thank you. And this is all about the community, period.
It is. It's about the community.
Okay, any more comments on that? All right, it is 8:30. All right. Let's move forward. I honestly want to get past this. I honestly, between all of us, I'm tired of special meetings. I know they're necessary, but
And this is
have
why.
enough. What's that?
And this is why.
Yes.
We have enough with our regular meetings, and to have to address these things through special meetings.
You know what, man? Yeah, we
Right.
have to, and the only reason why is we want to do what's right, because what we're doing right now is important. This special meeting is very important. I don't know
Oh, I
why,
agree.
to me,
I
it's
agree.
very important.
No,
Like
I-
everything is, right?
I for one appreciate your concern to do it right. Believe me.
Yeah,
No, I
we
do.
all
We all
like
do.
doing the right thing.
We all do.
Right?
Doing
we
the
all
right
do.
thing is what we do on this board. We're a great board. We do the
We
right
all
thing.
do. No, absolutely. No one's. negating.
Oscar, this does not require a roll call because it is just a review of what was already approved to be spent.
Okay, but I don't have that list, so I would like
Did
to see how that motion, is it motion 4, motion 5?
This was emailed to everybody.
Hold on.
Oscar, can you put it up on screen?
Oh my God. Hold on.
Point is that I don't have it. I'm the secretary. I want to read what it says. That's all.
Emailed it to everybody.
What time was that email sent, Oscar?
Let me open it up. Hold on.
8:30 a.m.
Doesn't matter, guys. I don't
Alfredo,
have
here it is.
Just-
No, hold on. Let me go. Let me, hold on.
I think it's getting too late for everybody, huh?
Okay, hold on,
No.
hold
Just
on.
put it on there so I can read it. That's all. That's it.
Hold,
Hey,
I'm getting there,
I'm a
people.
bachelor
Hold
till
on.
Sunday. I got all the time in the world.
You're
I missed Thursday's football game because of it. Thank you very much. But all
Okay,
right.
I missed
well, the
my dinner.
Chargers,
Anyway,
the
no, I'm
Chargers
just
lost
kidding.
by
Okay, hold
3.
on. Robert's
They lost?
like, oh my
They
God.
lost and Herbert is hurt.
Yeah,
Oh,
and Herbert
no.
got hurt, right?
Dang, that's
Wow.
But he's not out, but he's hurt.
Uh-oh.
Lord have mercy.
oh my God. We even got biblical on this one. All right, let's go, guys.
Where is that? Wait, hold on. I just opened that document. Why is it not showing up? Oh,
Look, guys, I'm only questioning because I'm trying to protect us from
no,
repetition of
hey,
things being done.
Alfredo,
That's all.
nobody say anything about that. We appreciate that because I agree. We should all be cognizant of that.
Sure.
Look, I've been to most boards, Alfredo, and I can tell you that I have never been to one that has had this kind of scrutiny on themselves. Never.
Sorry, everyone, bear with me. Okay, wait, I
But you're
think
not complaining, right, Brian?
I've got.
I'm not
I've got it.
complaining.
Okay.
Not at all.
What the heck is going on here?
Does anybody else have it?
I do.
Or read it, just read it.
Let me
to
see.
Does it
Hold
say
up here. Okay, I'm
There you
giving
go.
you a moment, sir.
No, I'm talking about the agenda that has that this item on it. I want to read what it says, that's all.
And we can
Well,
always up.
Okay, let me see if I can get that one too. Hold
we
on.
would like Alfredo to read that.
Read what, Brian?
Somehow.
Put the list back up and let Alfredo read it to us.
There you go.
Hold
Okay.
on. Let me see
A
if I can-
bedtime story.
No,
Wow.
no, I may just read it. I may just read it to you in Spanish, so I don't know.
Ooh,
There you go.
multilingual.
I swear, I thought I opened the right agenda.
Move over to the
Okay,
next
there you
one,
go.
Oscar.
Hold on.
There you
Hold
go.
on.
There it
One
is.
more.
Number 4.
That's it, man.
Can you see it?
No,
No, you gotta move over one to the next one.
no, that's the one, no, discussion.
No, this is it.
This is it. Discussion, is it
Yeah.
shown on this? Right here? Discussion motion to approve itemized list of. Can you see it?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. I'm copying it right now. Give me a sec.
Well, no, here, let me
Stop
email it to you.
I'm already there. No.
I emailed you the wrong one.
Don't give me more work. Just, oh, man. Can you just leave it open so I can just copy it?
Oh my gosh, now I got the wrong one up there. Hold on.
All you had to wait was 5 more seconds. I was almost done.
You know, what can I tell you?
And it's 8:40.
Now where is it? Damn it, Alfredo.
You have it right there, no?
I'm supposed to be on North Hills West.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, me
sir.
too, Brian.
Sorry,
I
sir.
Where you should be.
We own you here in Granada Hills, so.
That's right. Hold on. Is this the one?
We only pay you to be here, man.
Yeah, but you don't pay
Okay,
me
there.
quite enough.
There it is again.
Thank you. Let me see. Okay, go ahead and discuss what you need to discuss if you need to, while I'm just copying this. You know, typing. was
Okay.
not like this.
Well, I can't show both. I mean, people want to see the itemized list.
Split the screen. Split the screen. You can do that.
Did you already write this down?
You know what? I'm thinking too much. Just leave it. Give me just a quick second.
Get your phone and take a picture of it.
Right?
That's what
Alfredo, you want me to show you how to use Snippet?
No, guys. You know what? Go ahead and show me all of that and spend more time on it. There you go.
On what?
All right, go over to the
I'm done.
list.
Let's go to the list.
Can everyone see that?
Yep. If I put on a magnifying glass, I can even read it.
Do you hit the plus sign? There you go.
There you go.
How's that?
That's
Too
good.
big?
We're good. Just gonna have to scroll and show us everything after that.
That's fine. Okay, so here's the first, right, which is T-shirts.
Karen,
was
those
our-
the shirts that fit snug on the top and they make you look slim.
Well, no, because to be compliant with the city, we had to use the most reasonably priced. So small, medium, large, extra large.
Most reasonably priced. Okay. What
Yeah.
color are they?
Green. It is forest green, to be exact.
Can we change that color? Can we do an ad hoc committee to change those colors? A little more 2022 versus 2000.
Okay, so I'm gonna move on.
Okay, so there's the clear,
So
and
there's-
we could add more or less of an item. Item number 2, self-explanatory, clear tote, grocery bag, whatever. They're great for the stadiums for.
That is
you know,
actually
you know,
different
this is
Dodger
required.
Stadium because they want clear stuff, right? They don't.
And SoFi Stadium. And the next one is, these are fans. We learned about this at, actually at Porter Ranch Neighborhood Council. They, it looks like that. And then if you're at a, an event or something, you can twist that and it locks into that little cap. So it's open and you can fan yourself, but if you need to, close it up, you twist it, pop it into the little cap. It's quite, it was quite interesting. And next one is hand sanitizer, which is always needed. Our logo would go on the front. Scroll on,
Oh,
Oscar.
it's gonna be pre-printed on there? We don't have to put a sticker?
Oh, this one cut off. Alfredo, you can't see the total. I mean, you're gonna have to
That
ask
one-
me all about this.
Wait, here, it's 670, and those are the pens. And,
I can't see the entire picture though. Alfredo's gonna want to see the entire thing.
you know
What's
what?
the quantity?
What's the top?
Quantity 500 or
OJ,
$570.
let's relax. We don't wanna have a serial.
I beg your pardon, $670 for 500.
Oh,
All right.
Okay,
That really look
600,
like- it says
670.
Because
Okay,
this is our hottest item. The pens, without a doubt, hands down, is the
Yes.
most popular item. So
Yeah.
500 should hopefully sustain for a while. And the last one is the, it's a dry ease prize wheel. It was again, one of the least expensive. The other ones were like going over 243, 300, 400. So this is reasonably priced with dry ease. So, Jason Lester can take the marker and put those fun things
I
on
like
there.
that, because you can change the price
Yes.
that you're gonna give away, because I have
Yeah.
one, but it cost me like $800 and they're.
Right. Well, there
they're
you
expensive.
go.
They're
See?
expensive.
So this one is $199.
you
And
paid
that's it. And
you paid $800 for one of these things?
Yeah, well,
what?
you get what you pay for.
My Lord.
Without
You get what you pay for.
opposition.
Look how much of a great board we are. You get what you pay for.
So and these can be a dice, so if you see something else that you like, that you want to add on, we can always add them. We can adjust up, down, whatever, but we have to factor in, for the, shipping
Go
and
back
so
up,
forth.
Karen, go back up to the totes,
To which one?
the totes, the bags, I think it was the totes.
Now,
Unfortunately, it
this-
didn't come out in color, but that would be green handle and the green borders, and the GHNNC logo would be on that.
Oh, that's cool.
Karen, I don't think this includes tax.
Right, well, that's why it stopped at 3,600.
Yeah, which means where you are right now, you're at $4,000.
Right, so
Yep.
if we have to go back and adjust, we can, but this gives you an idea. This is the, do you guys like them? What do you think? But the point here is outreach and publicity. We got our names on the tent.
Yes, sir.
Someone's
Yes, ma'am.
wearing a t-shirt, GHNNC. Someone's carrying a bag at a stadium with 70,000 people, GHNNC. Someone's, at an event and they're fanning themselves, GHNNC. It's all putting our name out there and everywhere.
I'm curious as to we're spending a larger portion of the budget on this tote bag, and although it might work wonders for one or two or three, I wonder how many people from our neighborhood actually will go to football games and actually enjoy
Well,
something.
it doesn't, it doesn't matter, because they can also be used for groceries. When you go to CVS, you don't have to buy a bag. If you want to go to the market, they're actually stronger if you're purchasing, like liquid beverages that are a little bit heavier. So it does allow that as well. So
Yeah, but they're almost $4 a bag for those kind of bags for convenience, reusable bags at the grocery store.
well, they
You get 'em
shouldn't,
for a
but
buck.
let's call it, it's a multi-purpose bag.
Yeah, but the grocery stores, they buy them by the hundreds of thousands.
They
So
do.
It's usually the more that you purchase, the bigger
Lower the
the
price.
discount.
And that's true.
The
This
reason
can
I'm
be
saying-
worked anyway. This is just an idea so that we can, get our order done.
I'm
So
suggesting it only because I bought tote bags for reusable purposes, and they were $1. So at $1, we can get 1,000 bags versus 235.
and they might not be the same quality.
Oh, of course not. Of course, you get what you pay for, right?
Yes, we do.
We just want to avoid handing out bags that rip out, because I know it's been clarified why, but I'm just saying we want to avoid that.
The last time I had this much discussion on bags was my wife over a Coach purse.
I think we're all wives here. So this is what happens. We're married to the council, you know that,
Speak for
right?
yourself.
She's on a bag ban.
Okay.
All right, any more discussion? So
Wow.
what's the timing on these, Karen?
They have different, usually the shipping on average, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, but on these particular items, the average shipment is somewhere from 4 to about 10 days. So once.
Yeah, that's true on both foreign print and National Pen.
Right, and they are reliable. Again, I said, I think we've used them before, and Porter Ranch, uses them as well, and the products are good. We're putting our name out there. We want it to be something that, people are gonna remember, oh, Granada Hills North Neighborhood House, because it's all about getting our name out there.
How many pens are we getting for 670?
500.
Not bad.
And then they have a flashlight, a stylus, and a pen.
Swiss Army knife. Wow, nice.
Those pens actually were very popular.
They work well. Yeah,
They really were.
I like them.
Yeah,
I like
just
them.
like, yeah, okay. So,
Okay,
all right, Oscar, take it away.
so is there an action on this one? Is this, we've seen it, so do we need to take a vote?
Please.
But it's not a roll call because it's already been voted on.
It's voted, been approved.
So we're voting on this particular, on these items. Okay. All right. Any opposed to this or any one of these items? State your name. Okay, I hear none. Any abstentions? I hear none. All right, so this motion passes, or this approval passes unanimously.
Thank you.
I think there's still 11 of us on the call.
We still have 11.
Yes.
Perfect. So we're good. Alrighty. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing now. I think we're good. Okay, so last item here is board member announcements. I'm just gonna go around the room. All right, Alfredo, we'll start with you.
I don't think I have, I don't think you have enough time, sir, because we're supposed to close by 9, because I only get paid till 9 o'clock. So I thank you guys. Listen, our discussions are meant to be that way. We're supposed to discuss it, and I love the fact that everybody in the end would come to a vote and we make it happen. That's what we're supposed to do. But this thing about not being on our website when it's always consistently on our website, and this is where I get my what is it called? This is where I get my agenda from every single time, and then I convert the PDF file into Word, and then I can take my minutes on it. So when I didn't see it today, that's when I asked you, dude, can you give that to me? Because to me, it's there. So
It's a very good point that you bring up, Alfredo, and I'll have to address that with Aaron. And I think this go around because, again, so for everyone's information, it was a special meeting. Special meetings only require 24-hour advance posting.
Yeah, but you can post it on a website for 20 seconds. So I mean,
what's that?
Yeah,
it could have been posted today in there. What I'm saying is that it wasn't.
No, I get it, and I understand. And that what I'm saying is normally, with normal month meetings, those get posted. But I'll follow up with Aaron, especially with special meetings, just to make sure that.
Isn't it my comment? Isn't it my comment? My comment. My turn to make a comment.
Well, that's right. Okay,
Karen,
are you done?
Karen, as part of the outreach, I saw a great little item at a Valley Senior Resource Network meeting the other day, and I think it would be great for us to maybe have. It's like a little it almost looked like a mouse pad, but it's really thin, and seniors use it to kind of like open their jars. They grip really well, and they don't take a lot of strength to open them.
Oh, really? What's it called?
You might consider.
What's it called?
It's like a rubber thing that goes over a jar, and it grips really well, and you don't have to necessarily.
Oh, I think that's from the Arthritis Foundation. I'll look into
Rubber
it.
thing that goes on the lid so you can open the jar.
You probably have one, right?
They've been around for decades.
Jar grip.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Power Grip.
And that we put our logo in it. And it could be used as a coaster. It could be used as a mouse pad. It's got like that kind of surface.
All right, that should have been brought up when we were talking about that list. Next.
You think?
Mrs. Moore thinks it's called a jar grip.
There you go. There you go.
Thank
Okay.
you, Sunday.
Thank you, Robert. Hey, we got Robert involved on this. That's good.
Graham, I'm gonna go down the list.
I love it.
It's okay.
That'll
Tell
teach you
Sunday
to open
Denise
your
and I are
mouth.
going to be recruiting her.
Graham, do you have any comments or announcement?
That's it. No, that's all I have, sir.
Well, I
Anybody
moved on to Graham.
Damn. Where is he?
I'm right here. I do not. And thanks everyone for very much paying attention to detail. And I still think that, I know someone has to notify Thomas, but if someone can check in on him, see how he's doing and what's going on, that'd be appreciated.
Understood. I'll reach out to him. Thank you, Graham. All right.
Maybe I'll reach out to him.
Okay, Alfredo's gonna reach out to him.
I'll reach
Sid,
Thank you for the meeting.
thank you, sir. Nathan,
No comments. Thank you very much.
thank you, sir. Jason,
Just thank you, Alfredo. I'm glad you're not the IRS agent assigned to my taxes.
You'll probably get away with more, so. That's good.
Mr. Moore, Robert,
I have no comments.
thank you, sir. Danitza,
No comments. Thank you.
thank you. Alvin,
No comments, just looking forward to my birthday, September 26th, and doing a quick getaway.
oh, good for you. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday then.
Thank you.
Quick getaway. Is that like a armed robbery or bank or what? How quick is it gonna be?
I mean, a
Where you going?
getaway.
Where you
out
going?
of
Where you
LA.
going? Where you going?
Alvin, just humor him. I mean, just.
Morro Bay.
Well, that's good. Good.
Make sure you post it on the website, okay, Alvin?
Yes, because otherwise it's not happening.
Yeah, I will do that. I'll never hear the end of it from Alfredo.
I guess I won't hear the end of it from,
Karen,
No comment. Thank you for a good meeting.
all right, and for myself, nothing. Thank you, everyone.
You notice how he skipped me?
Oh, I
sure
did?
You know
Oh, I
what?
sure
Brian,
did.
you
You know
said
what,
enough.
Brian, I'm so sorry. Go for it because I went to Alfredo first because, I just wanted to get past him.
You did a good job of getting past me. I want to thank the board for being so attentive to be able to be here and make quorum. It's rare that a board with as few people elected as we have by the number that are approved for a membership. I really have to say thank you to everyone for attending. That said, we need to put out some feelers about getting more members, as I have a feeling, because we only have 13 right now. I have a feeling we're gonna lose one, just personal feeling. And we're gonna run the risk of everybody having to be at every meeting all the time and never have a chance to be gone. So we really need to get these slots filled. So I would highly recommend everybody, myself included, start looking for more members.
Reading. Good point. Yep.
And I put out a feeler to find out who's replacing Chris. So as soon as I find that out, and we should be we should just contact
who?
Wade. Wade will know
who?
who's replaced him.
Well, I actually called the landfill and asked them to let us know, and I haven't heard back from them yet. So,
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah,
Cole.
I don't think
Chris
the
was good.
landfill itself cares, but
but they
Yeah,
probably don't. But I just
Okay. No, that's a good point. I thought Chris was also possibly going to.
I think that's all just rubbish. That's all.
So, okay, thank you, Brian.
that's it.
Thank you, thank you. So, and yes, and I agree with you. I echo that. Thank you. I mean, I know there's a lot going on and this is a small board, but we do, and I do appreciate that you guys show up because without us being present, of course, we can't move forward, taking, direction or action on some of these things. So thank you. I very much appreciate it. And next time I will make sure that I have dinner before my meetings so I don't get so grumpy. So, so with that,
This is you
thank
grumpy?
you.
Wow, that's good.
Hey, Alfredo. Anyway, good night, everyone. Thank you once again. All right, you guys
Good
have a
night.
good-
We
good-
didn't make it to
good
9
weekend.
o'clock.
What's that?
Thank you,
We didn't
everyone. Have
make
a
it to
great.
9 o'clock.
We did.
You can hang
got
around
3
for 3
minutes.
more minutes, Brian.
Yeah, you can stay.
Good
You can stay,
night.
Brian.
I
You
can stay, thanks.
See you guys. See you guys.
Yeah, I'll leave it
Good
open
night,
for you,
everybody.
Brian.
Yeah, bye.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.